Hey guys, Tisha here, and we're back for another Sister Wives Season 6 review. We're going to go ahead and get started. So, we now know that it's been 5 months since the Sister Wives closet opened and sales are still trash. As a result, the wives are pitching ideas as to what they can do to bring more traffic to the business as well as see an increase in sales. So Christine suggests an idea of having t-shirts. She lets us know that she contacted someone who can make the shirts and do 2 different logos or 2 different styles of shirt. Cody immediately interrupts her and says that he doesn't want a product that's going to cheapen their brand, that he doesn't want any frumpy shirts. So, knowing that Christine has not been fully committed, knowing that Christine is now trying to be more engaged, you would think that her husband would support her, especially since he now knows that she won't be pursuing real estate. But no, not Cody. He, in my opinion, will take any opportunity to knock Christine down a peg. So we hear from Janelle that she doesn't like the idea either because she does not feel like the logo for their brand would sell at this point and be a good idea. As Christine is hearing this, she says, okay, so no. And he tells her not to take it personally. But without seeing the product and without understanding what type of shirts that she was talking about, how would she not take that personally? He did not want to hear from her most of the time. And I feel like a lot of times when she's speaking that he kind of cuts her down. In confessional, Christine points out that part of the problem is that Cody is talking about how he doesn't want things to be frumpy and how he wants things to be a certain way. But it seems like he's only trying to market to a specific group of people. He denies it, but really their business is about marketing to a specific group of people. It's not including men at this point. It's supposed to be a strong woman thing, and it has the title Sister Wives Closet. So of course that's gonna appeal to a certain demographic no matter what he tries to say. Janelle then lets us know that she also has a supplier that can give them aprons as soon as 2 weeks with the logo on it. And immediately Cody goes for this idea. You can tell that Christine seemed a little defeated by that. But my question is to you guys. Let me know down in the comments because I was a little bit baffled. I don't understand why an apron is okay, but t-shirts aren't. Because me personally, I'd rather have a t-shirt than an apron. I'm not an apron kind of girl. I can cook my tail off. I love to cook. But me in an apron, very rarely will you see that. So I don't understand why they couldn't do both or at least give it a chance. Janelle talks about how the good thing about these aprons is that it will come from a local vendor and they'll use good items and materials for it and all these other things. And I just say it's so interesting to me how they're willing to hear everyone else out as far as their suggestions go, but they tend to cut Christine off, and you can see it in her face. Robin then talks about meeting a new manufacturer that will be able to make the jewelry that is also local and that she's going to be selling over their current price listings and their items so that this new manufacturer can give it to them at a cheaper rate. We hear that this business is also ran by a woman and her ex-husband. And Cody says, so basically him and I are going to be in the background of you women grumbling. So Robin says, well, you can either grumble or you can put your big boy panties on. He laughs at it. If anyone else would have said that to him, for example, Christine, it would have most definitely been a problem. Janelle lets us know that she is now engaged because the bird told her that she can have a plus size clothing line, whereas before she had previously been shut down. We now see that it's a new day and Janelle is on her way to the gym to work out with her trainer, and she has her scale in hand. She lets us know that she's at a point where she's extremely frustrated because it's been several months and the scale has not moved. She's bringing the scale to the gym because she thinks something's wrong with it, and she told the trainer, and the trainer's like, just come on and bring it. We'll see if it's accurate. So as she walks in and she's like, I got my scale, the trainer takes her outside with the scale. She thinks that she's going to be doing sprints, suicides, back and forth, but he has a different idea. He tells her that he wants to get her out of the habit of being so addicted, like so many people, to the number that's on the scale. So he hands her a oversized hammer and puts the scale on the ground and tells her to hit it. Now, Janelle, being Janelle, of course, doesn't want to, and she's very reluctant at first. She hits it one time, and then he says again, and she gets to the point where she's enjoying it so much that she feels like it is a release, and she eventually destroys the scale. I get what the whole point of this was, but I kind of don't understand Janelle with the whole scale thing sometimes, because I see that she feels a way about the scale, as we all do. I've been there before where I felt like I was losing more weight than I was. I got on the scale and I wasn't, but I learned very quickly that the weight on the scale didn't matter as much as my inches, because if I could see the difference in my clothing, example, work pants that have buttons, and now that they're buttoning and they're not super tight and I'm not getting an extra stomach because of how tight they are, to the point where, oh, I'm buttoning these and I'm able to move them up and down without having to unbutton them, then obviously I'm losing weight. So if Janelle knows that she has all these different clothing items, because she tells us this, that she is now no longer wearing, that she's at least 2 sizes down from where she was before, and that she's losing a lot of inches, why do we have to get this whole pep talk to stand in there and to stick with it, and you're going to see results when she is seeing results? He points out that she is more concerned about the weight than she is about her success. And I agree. I think more than anything, if I'm trying to be more empathetic, I have to realize that this is a mind thing and everybody handles it differently. We then see the families go to the property to tour their houses. We hear how Aspen and Leon are graduating this year, so the goal is to get in these houses to make some memories for them. Now, we know that Aspen is going to be local, but Leon is going to be leaving. And as they're touring, we see major mistakes like tiles leading all the way down to Janelle's bedroom that were not supposed to. They were supposed to be carpet, I believe. And of course, we know that this is going to set them back further. Cody points how what makes all of this even more difficult for the builders is that there's like 5 different opinions, and we hear no, it's more like 10, because Christine has a few every day for herself, and then Cody has different opinions along with the opinions that the wives already have about their home. Out of all the houses, I will say that the Bird's house, from what I'm seeing in the kitchen, had the cabinets that I like the most. The Bird points out how every time she walks into her house that she feels like it's her home. And I need the Bird to look around to those 3 other women and thank them, because it is because of those 3 women that she's even able to have that home. If it wasn't for those 3 women, your debt wouldn't be paid off, you wouldn't be with this man, you wouldn't be in the family, and you would not even be on this show. Mona reminds them that they cannot do anything to jeopardize these homes because they still need to qualify for the loans. As they're talking about the different colleges and all these other things that the kids are going to, we find out that McKelty has been accepted to the College of Southern Nevada for the high school program for her 2nd term. Cody had talked with her because he wanted to make sure that her main motivation for going to this school was education and career, not just about being able to brag about being 16 and in college. I really do believe that that's more of a Cody thing than it would be a kid thing, but I get it. That's the way he thinks, so that's what he wanted to make sure that McKelty was not doing. Christine says that out of all her children, McKelty is the one kid that she worries the most about. And that's mainly because in my opinion, Mykelti has always been the one to push the limits. She's always been the one that has tested her parents, especially her mom, which is also one of the reasons why I feel like she got close with Robin, because I feel like she knew it would annoy her mother. It's just some things that I've noticed in Mykelti from when she was younger, even now into adulthood. I gave her more of a pass when she was a kid because I didn't want to talk about her being a kid, but now that she's an adult, some of these things still linger. We find out that she is not allowed to mess with any college boys. If she does mess with them, then they are going to make her go back to the regular high school. We then see Leon, Cody, and Mary, and they are heading to Utah. They stop at the old house because Leon wants to live there. Leon very much so had a problem with change, because I would never have chosen to live back at a house that I used to stay with my entire family in over a college dorm. Cody says that Leon wanting to stay in this house is one reason why they didn't sell it, because they wanted to make sure Leon could live there. Even if Leon wanted to stay in that house, there's no way you're telling me that you want to keep a house of that size and not sell it just so Leon could stay on a certain level. Doesn't make sense to me. As they're standing in there, Leon realizes that this isn't their home anymore, and being a part of that home, as much as they want to live there, that would be a way of holding on to the past, and that's not what college is supposed to be about. I agree. That was the smartest thing that Leon said in that moment. We then see them go to Westminster College. The first question Cody asked of the director of admissions is if them being a polygamous family will affect her. I was unaware that these were concerns of colleges. I know it's been a really long time since I've been in college and applied, but I thought that all they want to know is who your parents are, their occupation, and how much money they make. I didn't know that they care whether or not you come from a polygamous family. I don't even think it's something that you have to add, but as usual, we know Cody's going to push this narrative and find out. I wonder if he would have asked this if they weren't on television. Maybe he wouldn't have. I don't know, but I just noticed it's something that he frequently wants to know. The director says no. They would not be rejected because that goes against everything that our university stands for. We stand for choice. We stand for diversity and inclusion. We like to be a place where everybody can feel safe and heard. Leon lets us know that they want to go to this school and nowhere else, and it's exactly where they want to be. We hear Mary talk about how joyful she feels seeing Leon be happy at this school. Cody says that because of the amount of children that they have, in order for their kids to go to college, that they very much so need scholarships. And then they're also going to make sure that they need to work if they can't get those scholarships. We hear about how if they can't get that money for Leon's school, then Leon is going to have to consider another school. And Leon wants no part of that. We hear about how Leon leaving breaks both Mary and Cody's heart, but it also makes them think more about the family. We next see that Christine, Aspen, and Cody are going to head to Logan's college. Cody tries to convince Leon to go to the college tour with Aspen, but Leon has no desire to go. Leon, as usual, is going to be a brat about it, and as a result, is told to stay home. Leon says that part of the reason why they don't want to go is because they want to go to Utah because that's where their friends, their church, and their social network are. That they don't have a household of faith there, and I blame the parents for that because they never provided those kids with one. If you're in this place for 2 years, do you not think that your children need that aspect, especially if you keep talking about how important faith is to you? There's only so many Sunday services that you all can have in your home where it's no telling what Cody was teaching. I wonder how Leon feels about their religion now, especially based on what they've chosen to do with their life, because it's not something that I recall them speaking much of later on in over the years in the show, and I definitely know it's not something that they speak of much on their social media. I would think that even though Leon didn't want to go to the school, that Leon would be excited to see Logan, because, you know, maybe you haven't seen him in a while, but apparently Leon just didn't want any parts of any of it. We then get to the school where we see Logan, who is going to be their tour guide because he works for admissions. And Cody lets us know that since attending college, Logan and him do not have the same dynamic that they had before. Cody says that once Logan went to UNLV, he feels like he divorced the family. He shows up once in a while, but things are different. He says they used to have these great talks and that they just don't have them anymore. And he feels like he has a wall up and he wants to be as far away from polygamy as possible. And to me, this is a perfect example of how Cody struggles when he no longer is the center of the universe. Because your children going to college, you should expect the dynamic to change. But Cody doesn't know how to function with them when they don't need him. Cody likes to feel needed and wanted. And I feel like that's part of the reason why we see such a disconnect from his children that he has with his other wives versus the ones that he has with Robin, because those wives taught their children to be independent, whereas Robin taught hers to be needy. The fact that Cody expected him to remain the same naive man that he was when he was in the family shows his lack of awareness and intelligence to me. Aspen says she feels like Logan has taken leaving the family to an extreme because he had a lot of pressure being the oldest. She feels like he took dropping those responsibilities to another level, as he deserves to. I said it before, and I've seen it in my comments over time with these videos, that the two oldest children in the family, which is Aspen and Aspen and Logan, that they are the ones who don't have any children. I can't help but feel like them being parentified has something to do with that. Them having to get up and make breakfast, them having to tuck their siblings in, them having to be an adult-like presence for the younger siblings when the parents weren't, has to have affected the way that they view parenting. Logan says that the family misses him and he misses them, but he's at a point in his life where he needs to figure out things for himself. He says he is spreading his wings and giving himself room to grow, and he's putting distance between himself and his family to make sure that he has the opportunity to do that. So basically, Logan's like, look, I'm free, and it's no way that I'm going back to this mess. I'm going to enjoy these experiences where I'm able to wake up and just take care of myself, do what I want to do, and not have to think about a world where I'm being drowned in polygamy or it's being forced down my neck. I finally am able to be responsible for just me. I'm finally able to do what I want to do without having to worry about hearing that the other kids are looking up to me and watching me. Good for Logan. Cody says that when they went out to the media, and when they have different panel discussions, that he's noticed that when they ask the kids if they're gonna live plural marriage, that when the kids say no, that there's an applause. But when you have people like Leon who say yes, that it's just silence. He's like, I'm glad that they don't boo them, but it's just silence. And I feel like that also has affected Logan's choice to kind of distance himself from the family. And Logan basically is like, no, that's not what it is. I don't care about all of that. Right now, I'm just focused on school. Logan says that the last thing that he wants to worry about is whether or not he's going to be a part of polygamy. He just wants to be a kid that goes to school and figures out what he wants to do. But if you were to ask him now where he stands on it, he's not leaning towards it. These parents can say whatever they want, but I feel like without a doubt that the children were pressured at different points to lean towards polygamy. We saw Janelle doing it when she encouraged him to take up religious studies, even though that was something that he didn't have a desire to do. We saw Cody doing it when he kept asking Aspen if she wanted to be a sister wife or not. We've seen him do it with McKelty, but McKelty has always been strong on her stance. We've seen them ask Leon, and Leon stand firm in their convictions. It was something that they always discussed. I never remember growing up and constantly being asked if I'm going to get married, if I'm going to get married, if I'm going to get married. And I understand some of that may have to do with their faith, but you did pressure him. And now, because you pressured him, he no longer has a desire to be in that environment. Aspen said that them going public hasn't affected her decision on what she wants to do, but she does go back and forth because she knows that there is challenges with polygamy. Those kids saw some of the challenges. Aspen, being the older child, saw that her mother wasn't getting help from her father. They saw that their father was spending more time at different houses. They saw that their father was absent. They saw that their father didn't know certain things about them. So you keep on trying to pound polygamy, but you're forgetting what you really taught them and showed them. Back to the Sister Wives Closet. They do an expo in Vegas, and it's a Christmas card and gift one, and we find out that this was the worst one that they've had yet. I don't quite understand how it was the worst one because they made a better profit than the first one, but they're saying that this was the worst one. The good thing was that the people in Vegas are more tolerant, but nobody wants handcrafted jewelry. The Bird points out that their fastest sell at this expo was in 30 minutes, which is really cool. Robin wasn't prepared for this business. Maybe if she actually took the time to research and write up a real business proposal, something like what Janelle did, maybe they would have approached this with a better mindset. I think that Cody was able to knock down Janelle's business a lot faster because Janelle had all the facts and figures in regards to her business, and he saw that overhead and was immediately able to shut it down. Where because Robin did not really present an official business plan, they're kind of going with the flow and trying to figure it out as they go. Despite this being one of the worst expos, Robin has still written a check to their vendor that they're going to be using, and she lets us know that it's large. I want to know where Robin got the money from, because I think that even though she's telling us she wrote the check, that this was a check that had to do with the family finances. The Bird says that they did 19 in sales total, and that they need to make sure that they can get in these homes is what has been driving her and what causes her to work as hard as she is. I really want to know what Robin has done, the work that she talked about doing at the computer and all these other things. What did she do? Because those 19 sales that they got wasn't because of Robin. It was also because of the Sister Wives. She says she sees this as being a viable business that will eventually support the entire family. And I don't know how she sees this as that if she hasn't done the full research. We then see the advisor, Dr. Guido, from the high school, who we met in other episodes when the parents toured the school. And he's there to talk to Leon and the other kids about what it's going to do to get the money for scholarships for the colleges they want to go to. They're told that they can start as early as now to apply for scholarships, even if they're not seniors like McKelty. It's something that they should be doing. He says to Leon, okay, are you sure what you want to do? You sure you want to be a doctor? Okay, I'm going to give this video, tell all the kids to watch it. You say you want to be a doctor. You say you want to work with children. I want to know how you respond to children that pass, that don't make it. Leon doesn't want to think about that, but the doctor brings up a good point. Like, you have to think about the worst case scenario, because the reality is this is something that you will encounter. We find out that McKelty wants to go to a fashion institute. That is $39,000 a year. So Christine says that the only way she'll be able to go there is also with scholarships. That's the end of that. It's the next day. The family meets to discuss the expo. They have a $736 that they made in profit. Robin says that the business, most businesses take up to 2 years to make a profit. And I was just like, not all businesses, boo-boo, especially not the one that they're doing. It shouldn't take no 2 years to make a profit. I know personally from people that have done similar businesses to that, and it didn't take them 2 years to make a profit, and they didn't even reach the amount of clientele or marketing. They didn't have the ability to market the way that the Browns have had the ability to do so on this television show, and they dropped the ball. Janelle says that last night she thought about it a lot, and she just doesn't see this business as making her any money. She cannot spend that much time on it anymore when it's not making her money, and she wants to focus on real estate. Now, the bird is very aware of what she meant by saying this, by saying that it's not going to make us money. She said it's not going to make me money, but she know Janelle meant us. She know that she meant the family, but of the bird being the bird has to make it known that I don't really see it as something that's just supposed to make you money, Janelle. I see it as something that's supposed to make the family money, because, you know, I'm all about the family, Janelle. And I got to do my face. And I just care, you know, so much about the family. And I just don't understand why you would just say you when it's about the family. Come on, bird. You knew what she meant. She says, Janelle does, this won't be enough money to pay for a light bill. She says, look, this isn't going to be enough money to pay for a light bill in my house. I got to disengage. I said, not a light bill, Janelle. I'm so weak. She's right, though. $736 for 4 homes that are large in size. Yeah, she's right. It's not going to take care of a light bill. All those kids, I know how much my light bill is in the winter. Well, in the winter is not bad because I have gas for heat, but in the summertime with the AC, and then you got to think about the kids and the houses, and the bigger the house, the more energy that's being used. She's right. Cody said, how do you know that? Well, let's see, because at this point, the only time that they make money as a family for this business is at the expos, because the internet sales aren't doing it. Remember, Robin told us that people need to come and physically touch the jewelry, and them physically being able to touch the jewelry is what makes more sales. So if you're making at most $736 at an expo, which is good to make for a day, but there aren't expos every day. So Janelle is right. It's not going to be good. The bird wants Janelle and is frustrated that, you know, Janelle keeps going in and out, and she's trying to give Janelle room for that. But she needs Janelle because Janelle is the brain. Janelle is the money. Janelle is the one who understands this ain't going to work. Christine lets her know that even though Janelle wants to back out, that she's ready to invest more time into it, and that she's talked to the manufacturer as well, and that she has some ideas and she's prayed about it and she has some pieces. She said that it's Robin's dream, but she wants to support her dream. Christine, be careful, because they're probably going to shoot down all your ideas for the pieces that you want to do. Christine is here saying that this is Robin's dream and she wants to support it, but Cody is going to make us believe that she wasn't a good sister wife, yet she's here trying to support Robin's dream. Robin says hearing this from Christine makes her feel good and it makes her feel love. And the bird, hearing this, thought that she was in there. When Christine said this, the bird thought she finally hit the jackpot and won over Christine, because that was the last wife that she really had to get. But nah, I don't think you won over anyone. I think that Christine was just very, very much so trying to be a part and to show Cody that she was putting in effort. They ended saying that they're going to do some research on locations for future expos. So you're basically counting on an expo in order to make sales rather than your online business, which was the whole point of the Sister Wives Closet, because they said it was less overhead if they had the website. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Like and subscribe. Until next time.